Start a race.
This is the best pro wrestling podcast. My name is Tommy Stryker. Joe is here.
Yup.
Taco is here.
What up?
And we are here to talk about the best pro wrestling in the world. Lots to talk about this week. Lots of fun stuff to get into. We went to Wrestlepalooza, the three of us this last week.
Oh, yeah.
Got to hang out with a fan of the show, Dave, who listens religiously.
Dave?
every
Number
week.
one fan.
Number one fan, Dave.
Fun, good times.
Joe's buddy over there. So.
He had a heck of a time getting home, though.
Oh, yeah?
Because he took the train there. And
Okay.
so when he went back, basically, long story short, there was a crazy dude on the train. He got off at one stop to wait for another one, ended up getting on another train. The train stops, and who gets on the fucking train? That same fucking guy that he was trying to avoid. I guess he didn't end up getting home till like 2:30.
Oh, shit. Jesus Christ. That sucks.
My friend also had a page ripped out of her book, and a guy wrote his phone number down and then handed it to her on the train. Different train.
Oh.
Different train.
The train is classy.
Well, and local referee Rob Page, who was supposed to be reffing at Wrestlepalooza, got beat up on the train a week before Wrestlepalooza and couldn't referee. Yeah, they beat him up and took his backpack or something.
Ah, Jesus tits.
Is that the guy with the
ridiculous.
glasses?
Yeah. Rob.
Oh, I was wondering where he was.
Yeah, he showed up at the event. He was there hanging out in the crowd just watching the show, but he was supposed to referee, but he got his ass kicked on the fucking train.
That's fucked.
Lesson here is avoid the train at all costs in Minneapolis.
Yeah, it's not a good
Take
place.
the bus. Uber's a good option. I took Lyft to the show. That was good for me. I enjoyed had my fill in PBRs at the show.
Oh, yeah.
So good times were definitely had all around. So that being said, let's get right into our best of the week. And I keep forgetting what I did with the damn bee gimmick here.
The B stands for best.
Yeah, what did I do? There it is.
The B stands for best.
So hashtag the best, our best moments of the week. We start off the show like this
Wrestlepalooza.
every week with this best of the week. And yes, Joe, your best of the week is indeed
Wrestlepalooza, man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, let's get right into it. Fucking 5 minutes in, maybe a couple minutes into the show, fucking Ultimo Dragon comes walking out.
Well, here's the thing: is they had only advertised people that were going to be on the show. We didn't know what any of the matches were going to be. So
and a couple of those changed too.
Yeah, Mike Quackenbush was definitely advertised. I think somebody else was who was supposed to be there but couldn't be there.
There was that, I'm not too familiar with her, but Shotzi
Blackheart was the girl that was supposed to be there.
But
DJ Z.
In DJZ, It sounds like she's fucking around with Impact now, so it sounds like she's actually making, I guess we can say that now, but decent career moves. She's moving up in her career, so and that could have been it. DJZ, I have no idea. They definitely made up for it though.
I know. I know DJZ's been dealing with some injury stuff lately, so that could play into it. So yeah, it's too bad DJZ wasn't there. But yeah, Mike Quackenbush was advertised. I believe Shane Strickland was advertised.
Yeah.
But there were some big surprises on this show, some big moves on this show. Airwolf, who's the first graduate from the Academy of Pro Wrestling. That's the pro wrestling school.
Just graduated high school last week.
Well, right. But he was the first graduate of this wrestling school. He graduated. He was, and that was like a year or two ago.
That was about a year ago.
Yeah, and he's been doing great things all over the local scene. Airwolf is, and he became the champion.
Yep.
Wrestlepalooza champion.
Yeah, won the belt from Eric Cannon. There was some skullduggery in there with Darren Corbin, of course, who's a great heel, and he was all over the show, getting heat and doing a great job as well. So that was a big moment from the show. But yeah, talk about opening match of the show. Out comes Mike Quackenbush. We have no idea who his opponent is,
and fucking Sonny Ono and Ultimo Dragon walk out. Sonny Ono, I think it was you, Tommy, who said the original selfie.
Yes. He would come out with the camera back in the 90s and take pictures of himself and whoever his client was. He was the original selfie man. So he's out there taking selfies selfies all over the place.
Now you can do it instantly.
He's doing it, but now he's doing it at Wrestlepalooza. He's taking selfies with Mike Quackenbush and Ultimo Dragon, and so.
And again, Mike Quackenbush, this is a guy who knows his stuff. He's like, he's known in the indies, for his wrestling. So to put him in it against the guy who created moves for this business,
and Quackenbush is basically kind of on his retirement tour right now. He's only taking matches that are important matches to him and things that he wants to cross off his bucket list. And so for this match to just come to erupt in front of us, basically to come out of nowhere,
to start the fucking show.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the announcer was saying we're going to front load this show.
Yeah,
he was not joking.
Well, so that started the show. I believe that championship match that we were talking about between Airwolf and Eric Cannon was about halfway through the show. Good stuff
mixed in with the punk music and burlesque dancing.
right. The music, the burlesque dancing, all of that was cool and on point. Plus, we had the former Abby Lathe, Kimberly, had a match that was fun, and then the main event. I want to save that for later. We'll talk about that a little bit later, because that was a huge surprise as well. Wrestlepalooza, a lot of fun. I had people. I was going nuts on Twitter as much. I'm not good at Twitter, but like the stuff that was hitting me like crazy, I'm putting out there on Twitter, all caps. What the hell's going on here?
Sure.
And people are asking me questions like, can I stream this? Where can I see this show? And I'm like, well, here's the thing: it's an indie show, but they do usually put out DVDs of the shows eventually, and I think they are also, and I'm not positive on this, I think they put their stuff out on Smart Mark Video. So,
that's what the distributor Smart Mark Video, and you're able to like this Wrestlepalooza probably won't be available for another couple months as
to stream,
edit it and process it or whatever they do, but they will be releasing it on DVD, and then they will also be able to, for like MP4 downloads too. So
I will be buying that DVD.
Essentially the same fucking price, so it's like you might as well buy the DVD. But yeah, if we have some listeners over in the UK and everything, you'll be able to it'd be easier just for you guys to download it. See what's going on in the legendary fucking First Ave, some crazy ass fucking wrestling.
Well, and while you're waiting for that one for this most recent one to become available, go ahead and watch some of the old Wrestlepaloozas, because they put on really good shows. They're selling out the classic First Ave nightclub now in Minneapolis.
That's not an easy feat to do nowadays.
Yeah.
There's a lot of competition down there.
So yeah, really cool event from this last weekend. I was worried that I might not be able to make it because of work issues, but no,
am I glad you did?
Yeah, me too.
Especially that beginning.
You're a WCW guy, so again, Ultimo Dragon, we're talking about match after match. He's always in the Cruiserweight title talk or facing the top talent.
I was fine with Sonny fucking Ono coming out. Right? Here comes Ultimo Dragon. What the fuck? So, that was just cool.
Guy never stops smiling, I swear to God.
And he still looked like Sonny Ono, of course. He's walking around upstairs and, taking selfies with fans and shit. That was just great. Just good stuff. We'll talk some more about Wrestlepalooza a little bit later. Taco, what's your best of the week?
I only got to give a good fucking shout out to Impact this week. They're making some good moves. They're signed on for that Jericho cruise. And there's a lot of good names, talented names on there, good acts. So Don Callis, man, since he stepped in with Impact, they've been making some good decisions. Signing good talent, just keeping the ball rolling. And this week I've promoted Sling on here. Said great things about them when it comes to wrestling, but I halted on them this month, and just kind of fucking around with the other ones, and
trying some different streaming
this
services.
Week I tried out YouTube, and just a quick note, notice things was like I felt like it streamed better, slightly better quality, but for the same price I still like Sling TV. The selection is just way better, has more bang for your buck, and but YouTube has Pop TV, so I went ahead and watched last week's Impact. I had a lot of buzz on there. Good show from start to finish. Nothing amazing, but it's good to see that Impact is, putting on together a good product now. It's something that I was like, wow, I do want to come back next week. Kind of to compare it to like Raw this week, maybe on that level of just kind of
welcome back, professional wrestling fan.
There,
I forgot what that. I just saw "Welcome Back" on my screen. I'm like, that's perfect for what Taco's talking about, right? And it was more than perfect. It's like Impact.
Welcome back, professional wrestling fan.
Yep. No better way to explain that.
So tell me about what's kind of going on Impact. Is it the Austin Aries, Brian Cage doing their thing on top? Or no, I think you said Austin Aries and Pentagon are kind of doing their thing.
Yeah, Aries just won back the championship, but there, it was kind of the whole situation too, where there's some fuckery involved, where it was a double count out, and then Aries was pissed off and said restart the match, and then it was another double count out. Then fucking Pentagon Jr. said, cojones, uno más, and they did it again, and then when the ref wasn't looking, Austin Aries dick kicked him, and they got the quick pin. So it's like, what else? Motherfucker, so it's like good match. It's been like a good feud that's been sucking people in, and for him to kind of win over the championship like this again, it's like, god damn it. But they're causing good hype for Slammiversary. The fucking floor is already sold out for Slammiversary.
Is that being held back in Canada?
I believe
now?
so. Yeah.
Okay.
And going to like the women's, I said it on Strong Honor, like the women's matches on here, like it just Impact in general. I've always just felt part of the show. They've always just felt part of the show. Nothing too extravagant, nothing to bury or not. They've just been there. Just Impact's always been there. But we had Su Yung, new champion. She beat Allie in a casket match. Was the match a fucking slobber knocker? They did their thing. And there wasn't, I'm not going to say go fucking watch it, but just the story that they've been telling with Allie on Impact is fucking, like, holy shit, it's Allie. Go back a year ago where fucking, Maria Kanellis was dogging on her. I was this was fucking terrible. But it was, it was progression. It was more about getting their story to go on as opposed to the actual wrestling match. That's always been kind of Impact's strong point, is the production of, trying to paint a picture, trying to tell a story. They've always had that where, the WWE product is cookie cutter. Let's keep the sponsorships. Let's keep it safe.
I've been hearing that they're telling solid stories. Things are making sense.
Things are making more sense, and that's good to see. We got Cage right now. He's fucking slowly tearing up fucking Impact. Cage. He's doing fucking great. He's looking like a monster. Yeah. Beat Bobby Lashley for to send him on his farewell.
How come he doesn't have the gauntlet?
That's a Lucha Underground.
but they're together. I'm sorry, Pentagon's in. Freaking Impact. Why can't he have the gauntlet?
He's not Pentagon Dark, though. But it's just good to see them kind of building up Cage in this situation, because, let's be
realistic. Lucha Underground starting up here in a week or so.
Let's be realistic here. Is Lucha Underground going to have a 5th season? Question mark.
Yeah.
Is Impact going to have a future? Impact should have been dead fucking 10, 6 years ago.
Never die.
And they're moving on 14 years of it. So it's just like they're focusing on getting the Morrison, the Cage, let's get them here. They're fucking having a business relationship with AAA, Ring of Honor, fucking Kenny Omega's on this fucking boat trip, for Christ's sake. So, we just looking at Jericho's boat trip alone, we have, Kenny Omega representing New Japan. We have Ring of Honor on the boat. We have Impact on the boat. We have Jericho on this fucking boat. It's just so awesome right now, and Impact of all people are capitalizing on this.
Yeah, so here's one of my concerns is that, and I think there's a lot of people that are concerned about it sounds like Rich Swann is doing stuff for Impact now.
Move on.
And
get over it.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, it's just like, there's still a couple, now if we're starting to see, repeated patterns, yeah, fucking people need to step in. But guess what? It's not our fucking business. She fought for him to bring him into Impact. He is a talent. People his wife are a draw to him.
His wife is working for Impact.
He he probably has some issues he needs to and demons he needs to face, and she's still willing to be by his fucking side to do that. If they're willing to fight their battle as a couple, what demons that they're able to find.
Is he on TV right now, or is that
Not
something
yet,
that
no.
they've taped but just hasn't?
It's taped.
Come out?
It hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
But that's where people just drop it. It's fucking move on. They've moved on. It's not your life to live. It's theirs.
I understand all of that, but as someone that's but genuinely upset at the Michael Elgin situation, a guy who's suing a fan, but he never did.
He's really poking the bear with it, though.
Right. Exactly, with taking a fan to court for defamation, basically.
Yeah.
So that's an issue for me. Whereas, but I kind of have that same feeling with the Swan thing. But I get what you're saying. It's they're still married. She's didn't press charges, and that's why he's in the situation he's in.
Like the Elgin situation is just one poke after another. Oh, here's a new text. Oh, here's a new screenshot. Here's a new thing. Whereas Swan, it's
You haven't heard anything.
He allegedly laid his hand on her, and a big thing happened. He lost his fucking job over it. They wrapped up whatever they have, whether you're lack of evidence or what. That's not our position to see. Obviously, they're fighting it. They're working together still, and I wish them the best of luck. I hope they can overcome this.
Let's wish everybody the best.
It's not like you can be like, well, on this day 2 years ago he whooped her ass. 6 months ago he whooped her ass. Oh yeah, there was this time on the first date where we don't have a track record on him. So give him the benefit of the doubt. This dude has struggles. But
if it happens again, he loses all benefit of the
that's
doubt.
what I'm saying. I want to defend a guy that's allegedly whooping someone's ass. No, I don't. But I also do want to give them the benefit of the doubt that shit went out of hand. I don't fucking know. I wasn't there. I don't know the story. They're both going at chasing after the career, so I can only wish the best for them. And and seeing them together, I hope she's safe at home. I wish the positive for them.
One more question about Impact. What is the announcing like? Still Josh Matthews?
And this last week was Josh Matthews and Don Callis, and that was another thing. I'm glad you brought that up because since this is a pre-recorded product essentially, and they're dishing it out to us, as it fresh and new. Yeah. They're out there doing the commentary and everything, but in between the matches, they had Josh Matthews and Don Callis almost like in the control center, like when they're doing the Dusty Rhodes Classic, where they just it was all fucking green screen CGI'd shit, but
what else?
It was them kind of running through it a little bit, kind of just kind of giving their point of views, which I thought was a nice touch. What was going on, Impact has always been pushing that production value of always presentation, but it never really hit right with like the hidden cameras in the background, sneaking on conversations and stuff. It's like I like what you're trying to do, but I like the direction they're going in more nowadays.
Okay, and I gotta check it out.
This was a neat situation.
Now that Best of Super Juniors is over, I might have a little more time. But
the only reason why I watched last week's was because I'm on the 7-day free trial for YouTube, and fortunately I'm going to be able to watch this week. So let's see where this goes. I'm excited.
For sure.
Yeah, they're definitely pulling the big punches. They're making great moves. So I just, I'm happy that they're doing something good and seeing some talent have a good home.
Cool. Well, my best of the week is the Best of the Super Juniors finals. Obviously, we have a different podcast where I don't know if it's obvious if you're a new,
oh, it's obvious
if you're a new listener.
Obvious.
But we have another podcast called Strong Honor where we talk strictly New Japan and Ring of Honor, and we talk all about everything that happened in the last week on the Best of the Super Juniors. But my best of the week pertains really to the last 2 days of the Best of the Super Juniors. Some really, really good matches. The finals with Hiromu and Taiji Ishimori, Flip Gordon and Will Ospreay had a really great match in there. I'm trying to think of what the other ones.
Clint Dix.
Well, where did my notes go?
Yeah,
you just say Flip and Ospreay?
Yeah,
you did.
Flip and Ospreay. What else here? Shit.
Dragon Lee and Desperado.
Dragon Lee and Desperado tearing each other's masks
Show
off.
versus Marty Scurll.
Show versus Marty Scurll was aight. I'm trying to... God damn it, this sucks.
Man, you
Kushida versus Hiromu.
Yes, Kushida versus, that's the one I was trying to think of. Kushida versus fucking Hiromu. I threw all my notes on the floor when we were done with Strong Honor because I was done with it. So now I'm digging around looking for that stuff. But yeah, we talked about all of that over on Strong Honor, but really good, like 4+ or like 3 or 4+ star matches from the last couple of days of the
I got some catching up to do on that.
I mean, a lot of people saw the finals. I know you two guys saw the finals, but really go back and watch the last day of the A and B block action because really good matches there. Some cool storylines. That Desperado and
that's the one I want to go back. Dragon
Lee match was a lot of fun too. So yeah, definitely check those out. Check out Strong Honor if you want to find out more about all of those. Let's change it up and talk some of the news this week here in the pro wrestling world.
Change the subject.
Pro wrestling news. We have quite a bit of news for you. News.
Well, it was the CM Punk trial came to an end. It was the WWE's Dr. Amon. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I have that Minnesota.
That is a Minnesota accent.
So I talk funny anyway.
Oofda.
He was
don't you know?
He was suing CM Punk for defamation as well as Colt Cabana.
Duck Goose. Fuck both of you.
A lot of interesting stuff came.
Duck Radar.
A lot of interesting news came out of that trial. You heard a lot about the money or the Royal Rumble match of 2014, and it was Punk complaining on the podcast. Basically, the Doctor was suing Punk and Cabana for either $1 million or $4 million.
$4 million.
I've heard and seen two different things. Anyway, basically, he's suing him for money, but he didn't lose any money. He didn't lose his job.
What clients are coming to you? Oh, the fucking guys that Vince McMahon sends your way.
Right.
You're covered, buddy.
Well, and his reputation has not suffered really, I guess, amongst...
I didn't even know the guy's name.
This is the most popular he's ever fucking been.
So there was all of that not going in his favor, and of course the jury ruled in CM Punk's favor. So I think this is a good thing because guys like CM Punk who are standing up being like, look, I'm fucking hurt. I need to be not medically cleared. But it's a weird thing, too, because he was in the Royal Rumble. He got concussed in the Royal Rumble, but he refused to get eliminated early because fuck you guys for clearing me to be here in the first place. I'm here. I'm doing the fucking match. And he was he got concussed when he got clotheslined by Kofi Kingston 20 minutes or so into the thing. And he was like, he came out number one and went all the way to the final four guys in that match. So, and a lot of it, he's laying around on the apron and all of that. I remember watching this match. See him, he's been in there forever, but he's laying around, not doing anything. Very much like a Roman Reigns Royal Rumble. Who would have thunk it?
Weird.
But I think this is good. I mean, it's good for, I don't know, a wrestler like CM Punk to stand up and say, look, this shit's fucked up. And to basically be vindicated here.
Past, present, and future wrestlers should not be afraid to go onto a podcast and say, what damage has been sent their way.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is I think it's a win for podcasting for Colt Cabana who got dragged into this whole thing.
Exactly. I mean, he's just defending his fucking reputation at this point.
Yeah. So I'm glad that CM Punk won there. Let's talk about. We were talking Impact and that some Impact stars are going to be on the Chris Jericho cruise in October. I think we were just talking about Impact, but I think this is a good thing. Impact is being definitely more open to... Impact isn't signing stars to exclusive deals. They're trying to save money, rebuild their reputation, and bring in and try and rebuild their reputation not only with fans, but with other wrestlers so they feel good about going and working
there.
To
win one fan back at a time.
Whether it's about them rebuilding the brand and or getting their stars out there in more places. I think it's just a good thing all around. It's not going to hurt the cruise at all. If anything, it might help that situation.
I promise you, Cage's checkbook is fucking bigger since he's been on Impact.
There you go. So, so all of that, and then finally, Deonna Purrazzo signing with the NXT. There were some other names that signed that were recently in the news too, like a woman from Stardom. It's either Io Shirai or Lo Shirai. I'm not sure. Again,
that is a Minnesota accent.
I don't follow the Stardom product closely.
I've heard she was the top talent, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was her.
She's supposed to be there before.
Her, Kairi Sane, Asuka, all of those. She's been trying, I guess, to come for quite some time. So a big. This is a kind of a big impact to not only Stardom but also Ring of Honor, who's been kind of pushing Deonna Purrazzo a little bit lately. She's not right at the top, and I was actually kind of wondering why aren't they doing more with Deonna Purrazzo? Well, if she's looking to go back to NXT and WWE, I guess that's why.
Good for her, though.
Good for her. Good for WWE.
Good signing.
Yeah, it's too bad for Ring of Honor though, and for Stardom over there in Japan.
They got to just keep trying, Again, like they got to look at some of the local talent. They got to start signing some chicks, really getting them into Ring of Honor. Because again, besides Kelly Klein, can you name the champion? Because I can't remember her name.
Sumi Sakai.
Sakai.
But yeah, it's
you get what I'm saying. Like they need to up their talent and they need to put them at the front. They're kind of just I think they're just looked at as an afterthought in Ring of Honor right now.
It feels that way. At least they've been giving them, especially the last couple of weeks on Ring of Honor TV. They've been giving them longer, more spotlight type of matches, which is what people have been looking
taking
for.
Baby steps.
Yeah,
with
and it's just odd because it feels like this is long past due. Them having a women's roster with a weekly presence on their TV. So there's that. All right, let's move on. Let's talk Raw, and I'm going to do my best to stay positive this week on Monday Night Raw.
Change the subject.
Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, again, I did not like Raw this week, and it caused me. I didn't like it so much that I just didn't even bother watching SmackDown, which I know is bad when you do a podcast where you talk about Raw and SmackDown.
It's always fucked up because you should be watching SmackDown, speeding Raw.
Well, I did. I definitely sped through Raw, but I probably I'm up to speed on what happened on SmackDown. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But I mean, I'm going to try to get some positivity out of some things here on Raw.
That's a lie.
What's your favorite moment from Raw this week, Taco?
Fucking for sure, Constable Corbin. All right, fucking him just coming in, reading that stupid fucking letter to Kurt Angle and seeing Kurt Angle's stupid fucking face of like, Stephanie did say that. Oh no! Oh man, I'm loving it. It's pretty much doing what Bully was doing in Ring of Honor, being the fucking guard bully, fucking enforcer, or whatever. But Constable Corbin, I fucking love that name. Let's do something with him. I like it's a nice step like to the side, but keeping Corbin the same character, the same dude. So I'm for it. Let's fucking tear this up.
I got a kick out of him too, coming down and fucking up the taco table too.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, there was.
And then him fucking up Hawkins, making him get the 200th loss. It was just perfect.
Yeah, because I did not give a fuck about Kurt Hawkins and his law, and it was like, okay, Corbin's doing this now. All right, I'm all right with this. But yeah, Constable Corbin, it's just such a ridiculous thing. Joe, what is your favorite moment from Raw?
They say they always love their first, but Owens versus Balor for the first time on Monday Night Raw, and the thing that really gets me at the end is you've got Kevin Owens on the ladder, and he's kind of thinking about jumping on, doing a frog splash on Finn, but he's doing that stupid scared spot. Why do big guys have to be afraid of the ladder? Why do they always have to be afraid of heights? But either way, Finn gets up and he hits a fucking coup de grace from the top of that fucking ladder. I can tell. And the thing is, it looked really good. The Finn Balor coup de grace, it's 50-50 for me on the looks-wise. This one looked good.
I enjoy the coup de grace, but I could understand some people being, it's not for me.
Someone lined up the Raw top of the ladder coup de grace with the NXT, their takeover one, simultaneously, and it was just like spot on, the same spot and everything. It was super fucking awesome.
Nice. My favorite. I'm trying to get some positivity here. My moment from. I'm not going to call it my favorite moment because I'm kind of with you, Taco, on the Constable Corbin. It's like kind of the thing that I enjoyed the most. I wanted to really enjoy the Reigns and Jinder Mahal argument gimmick that they did with the backstage interviews. At least they were trying something a little bit different, and they were trying something a little more real. And we're not officially doing a pet peeves this week, but
sit, Ubu, sit.
Pet peeves.
Good dog.
It was just too scripted. Like it was like Jinder was talking in response to whatever Roman was talking about, or maybe it was vice versa. Jinder was talking, and then the idea was Roman was supposed to interrupt him and just start talking over him because they're having an argument on two different sides of the stage. But it was so contrived because the camera cuts to Roman before he starts talking, and then it's like, oh, red light's on, it's time to talk. Oh, and then blah, blah, blah. And then he's going to talk and argue over him.
But yet they can't give the moves time to breathe on camera.
Yeah. So I liked what they were trying to do with showing a, quote, more natural argument, but it was over-scripted. And at least they had a nice little battle backstage. And
yeah, that's what I was just about to say. If you can take one thing out of this is I loved how physical Jinder was with Roman in that backstage fight between those two. It shows that those two are willing to just come to blows. They're getting physical, and a good Roman match is a physical match.
Physical.
All right, let's talk a little SmackDown now.
Change the subject.
SmackDown Live.
I'm going to make this a tag team match. That's what I thought. Whatevs.
It'll never get old.
My liver.
All right. Taco, what was your moment from SmackDown?
I was really fucking dreading it last week when I bursted that fucking bubble of the married couple facing Lana and Aiden English of Jimmy and Naomi.
Yeah.
So it's just like. That fucking no, man! It was a lot of fun, surprisingly, everyone worked really well together. I like that Naomi got a bunch of moves in on English too. I like that she was fucking
stark
flying.
Contrast from the dance off from last week.
Exactly, I even loved fucking Lana coming out all super cocky and shit. Like, just the whole setup was it was a fun spot.
And if you think about it too, it makes sense not to have Rusev in the match because he's involved in the Money in the Bank build. He was in the six man.
It was pointing out too. Yeah, they're like, Rusev would be out here showing support for his wife, but he's getting ready for the main event tonight.
Right.
So it was just like, okay, awesome. You even acknowledge how fucking ridiculous it is that she's out with English right now, but. Yeah, just for something that, even given the SmackDown pre-shakeup, we've been like, God damn, they're doing this shit. Like, I don't even think this would have translated as well on Raw. It was the perfect mid spot of SmackDown too. So, yeah. They did it right.
Was there, again, I didn't see SmackDown, I just read up on it, so any further, tensions between, Lana and Aiden English? They kind of teasing the idea of Rusev moving away from Aiden English so he can be back with Lana full-time and get him back to the prominent spot that he once was when he was the Bulgarian Brute. So is there any more things going on as far as that goes?
I didn't catch anything.
Okay.
No, not really.
Okay, Joe, what was your SmackDown moment of the week?
Becky Lynch getting a submission win over Charlotte.
I heard this match was a good, very good TV,
it was good
TV match, but left you wanting more, as if you could come back to this when there's something bigger on the line, like a championship, big pay-per-view match or something like that. So I'd be cool with that. It's good. I'm glad that Becky Lynch got a nice win.
Well, and to keep going on the women's train, fucking Carmella on commentary this week. Carmella on commentary this week during that was it the Asuka? Yeah, Asuka Absolution match. amazing. Halfway through,
Really?
stops acknowledging Byron Saxton altogether. If Byron Saxton asks her a question, she ignores it, and then Corey Graves will ask said question, and she will answer it.
Speaking of announcers, just to jump back to Raw really quick.
I was going to bring this up too.
Why? Let's fast forward.
Why was David Otunga on Monday Night Raw?
Because they have lost faith in Coach. Coach is fucking garbage, okay? There's one pet peeve. There's my fucking pet peeve. The Raw commentating team is better even with fucking Otunga on it. Coach is just, I'm sick of him trying to whip his, I'm a journalist that used to be with ESPN.
I don't know, man. Coach is better than Otunga.
This fucking football stat.
Fuck
and
you,
then
bro.
Everybody else on
Ducky,
commentary.
quack, quack.
And then fucking everybody else on commentary is like, we don't give a fuck about football, dude. We're watching wrestling right now. Like, it's just, I appreciate that Coach is trying to bring that professional side to it, but it was like when fucking UFC signed that Fox deal and they threw Mike Goldberg on the NFL commentary.
I didn't know this was going to become a coach bitch session. I just wanted to bitch about how David Otunga brings absolutely nothing to the table.
Yep, and yet that's more than Coach.
He brings less than the table.
At least Booker T was entertaining because he was wrong or like coming out of left field or contradicting
He's
himself.
just a maniac. That's Booker T.
but
if someone just left a giant fucking turd on that part of the announcer's table where Coach would sit, we'd get more reaction out of Corey Graves and Michael Cole from the shit smell than fucking Coach being on commentary.
Let's fast forward back to SmackDown now. All right, I wanted to bring up Paige and the job that she's been doing as general manager. We had we're building Asuka back up. She had the handicap match that she made because Asuka wanted to face both.
I wonder if I score extra points for that.
Maybe on your SLTD Wrestling.com fantasy league that you refer to.
You guys are fucking neck to neck on.
Yeah, I'm only
number 15.
I gotta take Brock off as my champion. I gotta get Rollins or somebody on there. So next time the transfer window's open, look out.
I'm hoping to score some bonus points with Drew Gulak in the UK Championship because he's my cruiserweight.
Nice. I got to switch that one too.
Also, from that.
I know he's in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Drew Gulak's in it. His first match is against Jack Gallagher.
And it was taped, I believe, already, so look out for spoilers. I think they taped it at Full Sail.
See, and I want Drew to win, but I feel like back then, Drew's not going to win.
Yeah, maybe. And being that it's a UK tournament, makes sense to have Jack Gallagher.
But I want him to run the train on that shit.
What are we talking about again here? Paige on SmackDown. Yeah, she made the match that Asuka wanted, taking on both Absolution. And I like that Asuka got a win in a handicap match against two more lower card individuals there. Tell me about, because I'm more of a... I'm a little bit of... I enjoy Sonya Deville. How did Sonya Deville look in there with Asuka?
It was decent. Like, again, you can see the little bits that she's lacking in. She just doesn't have quite the snap, like professional wrestling snap, like getting move to move. Yeah. She's still progressing with that, but it's Asuka. I mean, she makes her look good too.
I think it's
There's
good
that spot too. They got that fucking double kick in, and both took each other down. So it was like good. She's doing good. Like I like her future. My beef with her is that whole fucking MMA gimmick. You gotta take that off. Of her.
We've gone over
but
it.
Yeah, we pound that.
We don't need to go down that pet peeve again.
And then Paige overseeing the Nakamura AJ thing. Is that she was out there for that too?
They did a contract signing, but it was in the back, and everything.
Oh,
they had Dean Malenko was there, and who was the fucking J&J security?
What else?
Noble was there, to keep things on the level, and yeah, it was just a cool little spot. Cause like, oh fuck, let's do this contract signing. It's like, nah, man. Like ever since Paige has come in, as this GM role, she fucking feels like a GM. It's feel fun. She's putting her authority down. Going back to the Asuka, Mandy Rose, Deville thing. They're trying to weasel their way, in the two, and Asuka's, being her badass self, and it was awesome having Paige coming down and be like, who do you want to fight? We know you have loose ends here. And Asuka, being the badass. I want both of them. Cool, let's get it done. Move it on. Move the show along. And then go into this contract signing. It was such an awesome spot because he was like, there's always fuckery. There's always bullshit, especially what's been going on between these two. And we're doing it in the back on a professional level. We have other people here to keep them in fucking calm. And, AJ Styles was the one that had to be fucking drug out because he bitch slapped Nakamura in the face. After
what? Nakamura's pen ran out of ink. I think he overreacted.
Well, he used AJ's pen, it didn't work. Then Paige had a pen, and that one didn't work either.
Basically, Nakamura keeps pushing AJ's buttons till the point where he blows off.
And then he gets smacked in the face, and then that's when Nakamura pulls out of his coat pocket and signs the contract. So yeah, it was a nice refreshing spot, especially for a contract signing where it was in the back, you have Paige in the middle, it just felt like very professional. And between her doing the GM thing on SmackDown, which hearing the things that I wish Daniel Bryan wasn't so vocal about being how much he regretted it and did not like being the GM of SmackDown. It's like, we know, dude, but Paige is in that situation right now, and I'm sure that's the last thing she wants to hear. If anything, she probably needs your support. But I don't know what goes on, obviously. Yeah. But, just my point of view, it's like, please slow down on that. We know you didn't like it. But and then going over to 205, what Drake Maverick is doing on there, too. He feels like a fucking GM. He gets so fucking excited for these matches. He's pumping these matches.
Puts over the
We
brand.
already know what the fuck's going on for next week. And, 205, we're getting these just fucking awesome matches, no matter from, start to finish. It's just... It's a show worth watching. You're sitting here, you're like, fucking Raw and SmackDown have been a fucking chore to watch. Watch 205. They're good fucking shows. You got,
And I love NXT.
NXT.
And it's just like...
and I should have watched SmackDown, I know.
It's just, if you're really going to devote 3 hours of your time to watching wrestling right now, SmackDown 205 should be those 3 hours. Raw is fun, cool. You got fucking recaps right now. We know what's going on.
Yeah, no, I tightened all the way through.
But it's just, I'm loving what Paige is doing as a GM, and I'm loving what Drake Maverick's doing as a GM because they fill those roles. And then going on Raw, Angle's not really filling that role to me. It's neat that he's GM, but it was kind of as fun as Mick Foley was. Goddamn glad we got Constable Corbin now to help things out.
Oh man, he's gonna straighten shit out.
All right, well, we got a couple more quick honorable mentions here. Oh, what happened? The thing there. Oh, boo. Come on. What's happening to you?
Fuck you.
All right, we'll just do this one here. It's not working. It's not.
Shit, since I was talking about 205.
Oh, come on. Seriously?
Man, what an episode.
What is happening here?
Fucking
losing that ball.
All right, hold on. Last time. One more. Here we go. Change the subject. All right. We'll work on that honorable mention soundbite. But just a couple of quick things. You were just talking about 205
yeah,
Live.
Since I was just talking about 205, like I said, good show, had to start. But TJP, I really liked his thing. It was one of those things where it was in the middle of the show. He's coming out. There's another fucking squash jobber in there. So I'm fast forwarding it instantly. And then I see him have a microphone on there. So I was like, all right, let me rewind it a little bit, and I was essentially back at the beginning of the match. and what pretty much TJP did, though, he did the same thing that I fucking did. I said, oh, another squash match, another fucking jobber. So that's where he just fucking whooped this dude's ass, put him in a submission move in the middle of in the ring, had a microphone. He said, just paraphrasing him, but he was like, what the hell's going on here? You're giving me these guys. I'm the first cruiserweight champion for 205, and this is how you're treating me. And then he's still teasing, like, I wonder what the other brands might be thinking. Maybe they'll be interested in me soon. Maybe, a contract negotiation.
Yeah,
so
and he's talked about wanting to go to SmackDown or whatever.
So I like that he was, right in my fucking head, like, really, dude, let me fast forward this shit. And he lured me right back in, made me fucking rewind that. So I just love that he cut a promo while whooping someone's ass and then made him submit or finished him and then, moved on. So it was like, good spot there. Fucking awesome spot. Because TJP is one of those guys, I'm like, he's a hell of a talent, but I've moved on from him, and it's stuff like this that keeps me lured in.
I want to talk about, you were just talking about TJP in a squash match, cutting a promo. Last week we kind of complained about the Nia Jax exhibition or whatever, where she was cutting a promo while beating up a jobber. I loved from NXT this week, fucking Lars Sullivan. Lars. He had an exhibition where back in the Performance Center, he's just throwing dudes in black T-shirts around
everywhere,
bear hugging guys till they tap out.
The ladies are in the other ring in the background, just stood still, staring at him like, what the fuck is going on in that ring?
He just murders and tosses around like 12 dudes. In the background, you can see TM61 or the Mighty enter the room, see what's happening, and decide instantly that they're going to leave. So that was
just so funny.
It was just a really cool way to build up Lars for the big match at TakeOver here in a couple of weeks. NXT overall was pretty good this week with the Gargano and Ciampa pull-apart brawl at the end there. Ciampa getting bloodied up there at the end of the show. Just fun stuff all around, basically, from everything going on at NXT.
Well, and even the Lacey Evans, Kairi Sane match. I mean, lost my train of thought there.
Well, just save it because we'll get into it.
I just realized that.
But before we get into that, we have the brand new segment.
You fucked up. You fucked up.
I fucked up. That's okay. We'll just rewind it a little bit and we'll fix it in post. We want to do one more segment that we've been teasing here for a couple of weeks, for like 3 or 4 weeks. We finally are going to get to it this week. The retro recommendation.
Retro recommendation.
And so,
love the door noise.
That was a fart.
Got to open that vault.
It's opening the vault is what it's supposed to be, but yeah, it just kind of sounds like a squeaky.
Sounds like a creaky door.
Yeah, I think that was the actual sound.
That has got to be the shittiest vault I've ever heard.
See, I pictured a book in my head, like fart.
Well, maybe
you're wrong.
Maybe I should just
leave it.
well, since most of the retro recommendations we do are going to be on the WWE Network, maybe I just add like one of these.
Because I don't hear that noise enough.
Play it in reverse, though.
I can't do that on the fly. So we'll work on that for next week with the honorable mentions.
We just hear like hell, Satan. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's
scary enough to rewind. But yes, we went back and since it's Money in the Bank season just a couple of weeks away, we went and watched the very first ever Money in the Bank from WrestleMania 21. WrestleMania Goes Hollywood. This was in 2005, and this is
I graduated this year.
Oh, that's nice.
We should party.
This was the brainchild, of course, of Chris Jericho. He came up with the concept of the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Of course he did. He invents everything.
Well, and it was a great idea. It's a way to get multiple people onto the WrestleMania show. And it's something they've been doing for quite some time now. But now, the last few years, they've been the Money in the Bank gimmick has become its own pay-per-view. So they've moved away from it at WrestleMania, but they do a lot of other multi-person matches at WrestleMania, or they just do regular ladder matches for belts at WrestleMania too, with a bunch of people.
Championships.
Anyway.
I just want to point out right off the bat, one thing I miss is just that plain black briefcase that they used to carry.
Yeah, right.
Just plain black steel briefcase. No markings, no nothing.
It didn't even look like a steel. It looked like a regular.
It was like leather ass fucking.
Yeah. It looked like
Vince's leftovers.
Yeah, it looked like something your local businessman would be carrying downtown. It was just.
I got one in my trunk. Just use that.
So, yeah.
Shane, get my briefcase.
I actually got a kick out of... So, this was Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, Christian, and he was coming out with Tom Cole.
Yeah, dude.
Shelton Benjamin, Edge, and Kane was in this thing. I like the Chris Jericho Tron. That was like fucking throwback. And the fact that they not only was it on in the background, but they like showed like the video of it. Like they cut to the actual Tron video on the entrance.
I missed that.
So that was a little bit different. That was fun. Kane comes out last. Everybody attacks Kane right away because he's huge. He's 300 pounds.
Huge.
And so the whole thing was kind of about Kane right away in the beginning. Oh, we got to take out this big guy. Then everybody hits a big-ass dive to the floor, including Kane, goes up to the top rope, taking out everybody and Tomko. Well, let's talk about this Tomko guy here for a minute. He's kind of like Christian's...
enforcer.
Sex slave.
I was going to say James Ellsworth, because at one point in the match, he helps Christian up the ladder so he could try to get him to win. It ends up failing. Kane or somebody pushes... Christian off the ladder onto Tomko on the floor. And I'm thinking, well, whatever happened to this Tomko guy? And then I realized, well, he just looks like a giant jacked up dude who's really green, and he probably never got anywhere in pro wrestling.
I believe he ended up in Impact, and then Christian followed, and they had some grab ass, and then, I don't know.
That sounds about right.
What else?
There we go.
Okay. We had 6 guys on 3 ladders. They all crash and burn.
Sounds like a website, 6guys3ladders.com.
They had a cool spot where Shelton Benjamin takes out Chris Jericho on the ladder, where they got the one ladder with Chris Jericho is on.
I want to buy that domain just to link it back to our website.
There you go. There's another ladder leaning on the main ladder. It's the famous spot where Shelton Benjamin runs up the one ladder to take out Chris Jericho.
Shelton Benjamin, just a fucking veteran of these matches. And again, you see it in this first Money in the Bank. The guy is just a fucking spot machine.
And how about fucking Shelton Benjamin looks exactly the same?
Oh, exactly the same.
Fucking, 13 years later? No, 13 years later.
One thing I liked about him, too, is, again, you see him before a match. He's always just fucking bouncing, getting ready, just fucking watch the Money in the Bank, go back again. Somebody comes down the ramp, you see Shelton Benjamin. He's bouncing in the ring, just ready to fucking go.
How about Benoit? And obviously we don't want to glorify Benoit too much here, but I thought the spot where Kane is smashing his arm early in the ladder, and then Benoit just selling the arm the entire
match. Climbing up that turnbuckle and then the ladder.
Yeah, but just the arm is fucked up the entire match after that spot.
Dude, he gets fucked up in this match.
Well, that's the thing, is it's the cautionary tale this match is, because Benoit is out there and he's all stitched up from a spot from Monday Night Raw, whatever it was. He's got the stitches all over his eye.
Tomko made him bleed.
And he goes to the very tippy top of the ladder to do the goddamn flying headbutt and busts himself open again. It's like, okay.
Well, and he was using the headbutt as an offensive weapon one time at the top of the ladder, and it's like, yeah, exactly.
Well, those were more safe, worked-style headbutts, but the diving headbutt where he busts himself open on Kane, just like, okay, that's why we're not, maybe not mixing too much Chris Benoit here as we go through these things, but Edge gets the win, of course. He knocks Benoit off of the ladder with a chair.
That was my favorite sell of the entire match, was him selling the chair shot on the after the fucking Edge shot.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's Devon writhing in pain.
And it was a chair shot to the arm that he's selling the entire time, which was a nice touch too. And yeah, how about Edge? I mean, obviously we didn't watch anything past this, but I remember Edge's run there with the Money in the Bank briefcase. That was his big gimmick there.
The big one, yeah.
For a while.
Well,
that was memorable.
It was weird just seeing the end of it. I was watching it. You see him enter, and he's Edge. He's just Edge, coming out. But when he's got that briefcase in his arms and he's getting out of the ring, he's just got that smile on his face, like, I fucking did it. This is mine.
It was like back in the day in the when they were playing a movie and they had to like cut the tape with the new tape. That was that part right there.
Yep. The only other thing I wanted to say about this, generally when if we're going to go back and watch a match or whatever, I like to rewind a little bit to see if there's a video package or something building up. There wasn't anything for the Money in the Bank match, but there was this kind of interesting backstage interview, well, not really an interview, but a backstage encounter between the two Raw and SmackDown World Champions at the time.
Yeah.
JBL, who was the undisputed champion, and Triple H, who was the World Heavyweight Champion at the time. And they went back and forth on who was going to be the better champion or whatever. And it was just, again, this is 13 years ago, but it was just so much better because it wasn't every other, corporate buzzword, cliched phrase that it was no WWE universe. They're calling each other wrestlers. They're calling each other, who's the better
You're telling
wrestler?
me there's no big dog.
There's no big dog. dog. There's no sports entertainment or sports entertainer.
You're telling me there wasn't any boss time?
There was no boss time. There was no big dog. There
the
was
greatest throw right of them all, WrestleMania.
There was no WWE universe. It was, Triple H being Triple H and snickering at JBL at the idea that he is some kind of good wrestler. He's there.
He's a wrestling god, okay?
He's like, okay, yeah, you're a wrestling god, and he's got Ric Flair by his side, and he's just smiling and laughing the whole time. And JBL is like hanging out with the U.S. champion, who I did not recognize,
Orlando Jordan.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So at the end of it, Ric Flair just goes woo to that guy's face and makes him jump. So yeah,
which is funny, but I was with WWE during those times, and they were not easy times. People are on this fucking train right now, like, those were some great years, 2002, 3, 4 of WWE. They had good moments.
I was watching Raw back when
they
this
had
was a thing.
a lot of bad fucking moments back then.
I was not into SmackDown at the time. At this time,
SmackDown, most of it was directed onto SmackDown.
Right, the JBL was the SmackDown champion. I didn't know Orlando fucking Jordan. I was watching Raw because I remembered this WrestleMania because I remembered it was WrestleMania Goes Hollywood, and they had all those video packages.
They were so great
where they're doing the movies or whatever. So this just kind of made me want to go back and kind of go through and try to find those little movie bits or whatever.
I'm sure they're on YouTube.
So yeah, lots of fun stuff there. So for next week, we're going to stick with the Money in the Bank theme. We got a recommendation, a retro recommendation from one of our dedicated listeners. He's talking at us, putting us over on Twitter all the time at Dej Kirkby, DEJKA or KIRK. God damn it! Can I spell? Am I getting it right? KIRKBY. First name DEJ. Dej. Fucking A. I'm sorry, Dej. It's Dej Kirkby. There he goes. I just had to relax and say it. Anyway,
we're back.
Calm down.
I know, right? Fuck. He recommended the Money in the Bank match from WrestleMania 24. CM Punk versus Mr. Kennedy versus Chris Jericho versus Shelton Benjamin versus Carlito, John Morrison, and Montel Vontavious Porter.
All right.
So yeah, a lot MVP. A lot of fun names in that match. So
I hope he has his little blow up entrance thing like he used to do back in the day. Oh, that'd be great.
We will check that out and talk about that next week for the retro recommendation. One more thing before we get out of here. Let's do the match of the week.
Change the subject. Match of the week.
Let's start with you, Taco, because your match of the week is near and dear to my heart as well.
Yeah, I missed most of the fucking last half of the Super Juniors going on, but did manage to catch the finale, and god damn, I'm glad I got to watch that shit live at fucking 6 a.m. But Hiromu and Ishimori, dude, it just, honestly, going into this, I could have sworn I saw Ishimori and Kushida, so I was like, oh, okay, that's what this is gonna be, eh? Oh, fucking dude, Ishimori's music hitting and him coming out, I was like, wait. So that was also a highlight for me. But yeah, these guys just beat the living piss out of each other. It was just such a fun fucking match, and it was longer than I thought expecting. It was not as good as I thought it was going to be too. So that was surprising. Like Ishimori, man, he's been on the ball already in New Japan. He's stepping up to the fucking plate, and I'm a big fan of feed these people to the fire. They need to step up to the plate or get the fuck out. And he's earning his keep, and this match is showing it. And fucking good win for Hiromu. He was not someone I was expecting to go to the finals, let alone win the fucking thing.
Yeah, if you didn't pick this one as your match of the week, I was going to pick it because I mean, really, it was just capping off a great couple of days for the best of the Super Juniors. I thought this was just under 5 stars. You could argue 5 all day long. A couple other 4+ star matches, like I said earlier, from the night before, and this just kind of wrapping it up and being the most important because Hiromu took home the trophy and is going to challenge Will Ospreay this coming Saturday at Dominion for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. So lots of cool stories here because everybody in the world probably thought that Ishimori was not a lock, but odds-on favorite to win the whole thing, coming in with the Bone Soldier gimmick. The company really behind him.
And this sets up, too, a good feud for these two guys down the road as well.
Yeah.
Like a fucking rematch, please.
Well, and Hiromu now, he's got to go face Will Ospreay, who he's lost twice to already. So is Hiromu going to... Is he gonna continue the momentum coming out of the tournament and turn it into a win and regain Mr. Belt, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship?
Come home, Mr. Belt.
Thing is, I really like Will Ospreay's run, but Hiromu feels ripe here too, so it'll be really interesting to see what happens here come Saturday at Dominion.
And we go over kind of some of my fantasy booking over on Strong Honor about that.
We get into
a whole lot of it.
Yeah. Lots of it. Joe, what's your match of the week?
I'm gonna bring up Lacey Evans versus Kairi Sane.
You already brought that up.
Not really. He didn't. He
fucking did.
He lost his train of thought, and then we're gonna get into it now.
No, it's gone. Fuck it.
And it's back.
But Lacey Evans and Kairi. The thing I like about it is one, I like the whole rubber match thing. I like when they put the same people just in a couple matches. They don't even have to have a feud. They don't have to set anything up. It's just they're having some matches. I like that, and I like the improvement that I'm seeing out of Lacey Evans.
For sure.
Kairi Sane is one, like, we know what she can do. She's just basically honing her craft, at the Performance Center before she goes up. Lacey Evans, she's gotten better. Her strikes are more realistic. Her moves are smoother. And again, I think she's done that moonsault trick twice now, but again, she's getting better at it and hard hitting too. She knows Kairi can take it.
And I like the story that they tell here too, where Kairi beat her the first time, I believe, right? And then they have the rematch. Lacey wants that second chance, and Kairi doesn't take her seriously, and Lacey gets the win. So here they have the rubber match. Kairi, the more experienced veteran, takes her seriously this time and gets the win.
Well, I even loved that Lacey Evans was fucking cocky as fuck with the women's rights. Having Sane's name written on her hand, and just trying to lock it in all the time. This is my new move. I'm going to fucking get you with this again. It's like, no, it's not that easy. You're still learning. Yeah. So, it was such a nice touch of just, the rookie getting excited about the new move and it backfiring on him. So, good rubberneck match. Good fucking show.
Well, and what I was going to say is basically that besides Cross and Baszler, you don't really have a whole lot built up. You have a lot of women down there. I mean, you got Bianca Belair building up, but you're building up a ton of new talent. Yeah. So I like this, that again, with NXT, they put the trust in the wrestlers. They're just like, go out there. You need to put on the show. And they're doing a hell of a job.
And speaking of that building up thing that you just brought up too, they're doing a really great job. I mean, the Nikki Cross thing has been there forever, right? People are like,
just waiting.
She's a badass. When is she going to get her shot? And finally, they're building up her versus Shayna Baszler. But then what they've been doing with the EST, Lady Taco or whatever.
Lady Taco.
Bianca Belair, yes. The video packages, a couple of nice wins here and there. So it's something that just building her up over time. If she gets a title shot soon, she'll probably lose. But again, it just building her up so that once she gets in a match like that or something that has bigger stakes, you take her seriously because they've built her up nicely. So yeah, I like what they're doing with all of the women here in NXT.
Tommy, what is your match of the week?
My match of the week, we're going all the way back to the beginning of the show, where the best of the week was the Wrestlepalooza show that we all went to. We knew Shane Strickland would be there. I'm walking around the show. I'm all of a sudden I'm seeing AR Fox wandering around. I'm like, I didn't know he was going to be here. What's going on here? Come main event time, here comes Shane Strickland. Here comes AR Fox. I start going nuts on Twitter, like, oh my God, is this fucking happening here? I didn't know this was going to happen here. This is amazing.
Fucking what a surprise.
I mean, the first time, actually, it was the second time I met Shane Strickland was at the last Wrestlepalooza I went to, and I raved to him at the time about the match. And so he fucking brought AR Fox up here, and they had the fucking match here. But it was so different.
And they put on a hell of a show, too.
Yeah, the thing is this was way different than their Lucha Underground match when it was Killshot versus Dante Fox, because that thing was like this athletic, hardcore bloodbath, going through plates of glass. This was an athletic performance, but hard-hitting, well-paced. They even did a spot outside the ring, which is nearly impossible to do at Wrestlepalooza because the fans are literally right up against the ring. There's like a little barricade with like a foot of space in between the ring and the barricade.
Push that back, though, for sure.
So, yeah, it was the only match to do anything outside of the ring. But, yeah, and here's the thing is, the crowd was just, it was like the crowd knew what was coming because, like, oh my God, have you heard about this match? And there was this buzz. And there were people that didn't know were asking others, like, whoa, what's going on? Like, oh my God, these guys had this match. And oh my God, you got to check it out. And oh my God, it's in front of us right now.
Honestly, like, he came out and I stood there and I'm like, is that...
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, dude.
And me and Taco both look at each other and go, this is going down fucking right now. Right in front of us. This is happening. Like, again, like, we were so fucking spoiled at that show.
I'm curious because it was an indie show, a quote unquote house show or whatever, and the crowd was into it. But I'm curious to see how this holds up on video, because it's different watching something on TV than watching it in person. Because it was a good, hard-hitting, back and forth match, great near falls. But I'm just curious to the greater audience here what it's going to look like once it finally comes out on video.
This whole Wrestlepalooza, the first wrestling group here out of Minneapolis.
That's the promotion.
That's the promotion.
First wrestling.
The show is Wrestlepalooza. Right. It's not the old ECW show. Nothing to do with that.
Right. Because First Wrestling runs 2 venues right now. Well, actually, they just ran right after Wrestlepalooza. They ran a local street festival in St. Paul.
And they're also, if you're in the Wisconsin area too, they're actually part of the Rock Fest this year. It's kind of be like the Download Festival in NXT, but they're going to be part of Rock Fest.
Oh wow!
So that's really cool of them.
But usually when they run First Ave, it's called Wrestlepalooza, and then they also do shows at the Uptown VFW, and those are just first.
The Wrestlepalooza is the only one with the band playing, burlesque dancing. This is like the big party. That's what I'm kind of trying to get to.
Right.
Is Wrestlepalooza in general? It's just a fucking party. Everyone's drunk, hooting, hollering, having a good time.
Wearing Zubas headbands.
Zubas everywhere. It's just a good show. Everyone's safe. Everyone's happy. Everyone's comfortable. It's just you couldn't ask for a better time. This is the first Wrestlepalooza that felt like a wrestling show. Not in a negative way. Like what Eric Cannon has put together is phenomenal.
Yeah,
and this is the picture, what he's always wanted to paint for a wrestling show at the legendary First Ave. And this is the first show just straight off the bat with Ultimate Dragon coming out and everything. It was like, holy shit, what a surprise,
cool,
and just to end it with that too. It's like, holy fuck, a surprise. It felt like a wrestling show, but it still felt like Wrestlepalooza. It still felt like the party. It still felt like the safe space. It felt like, good times, but it felt like a wrestling show, where the other ones just felt like, let's fucking have a party with wrestling, good times, good people. So, it's awesome to see this company, too, finding their strides, too, a little bit, finding their moments. And, the show's just, kind of going into this show, is kind of giving it some skeptical hippo eyes a little bit, because it's just like the lineup was good and everything, but they didn't really announce any matches, and usually it's kind of months go on and then they announce the band and a couple more people, then it sells out. The band wasn't even fucking announced. Pretty much the 4 flyers with Kimberly, DJ Z, and Shane Strickland, and it was already sold out. So it's they didn't really have to promote much or do much this time around, so it's like, okay, let's see how they're going to handle this show. And yeah, from top to bottom, fucking just full of surprises. So I love to see growth like this.
Yeah, the First Wrestling / Wrestlepalooza brand has become the draw, whereas originally it was like, well, let's get our popular gimmick guys, our local guys, your Super Thunder Frogs, your Wildcats,
and then you'd get Colt Cabana in and maybe Scott Hall.
Right. But I mean, those were kind of the main draws, and it was a fun party atmosphere because they'd have bands and, like you said, burlesque. But now it's like they have all those elements still, and they have the gimmick guys, the local guys, and the fun stuff. But then they front and end load it with like the main event was a great wrestling match. The opening thing was for wrestling fans that know who the fuck Mike Quackenbush and Ultimo Dragon are. It's so.
And this was the first one too, where I saw Shimmer and Chikara advertised on the flyer too, where in the past like AAA guys like Drago have come in and no advertisement for that or anything. So I'm
curious, because you brought your girlfriend now to a couple of these. Now with like what you said, this felt like a wrestling show. Did she enjoy this one as much as some of the other Wrestlepaloozas?
When I'm going, oh my god, we got treated tonight, she's like, yeah, that was fun. This was awesome. She feels the atmosphere. She feels the vibe. So, I'm glad, she still is like, oh, fuck. I'm like, hey, Elias is on screen right now and you're missing it. She's like, no, I'm not. Like, fuck you. So, but yeah, it's just
I want to walk with Elias.
Wrestlepalooza. It's such a unique experience, and it's such an awesome good time.
This is my first time at the First Avenue one as well. I went to the VFW one just recently, and it's fucking amazing. Yep. I will not miss another one.
Yeah, once you go, it's like we gotta go. So yeah, okay, lots of fun stuff. All right, let's get the fuck out of here, huh? This has been a hell of a show. I'm really enjoying the new format. I'm enjoying everybody's feedback who's getting back at us, talking about people on Twitter and all of that. Make sure you. Yeah, join the conversation and let us know what you think and give us suggestions. Let us know what your best of the week is, your match of the week. Give us suggestions for the retro recommendation, pet peeves, all of it. You can follow the brand at BPW Podcast. I'm on there at Tommy Stryker, spell Stryker with a Y. What else do we got? Best Pro Wrestling Podcast at gmail.com. If you're not into the social media stuff, go to bestprowrestlingpodcast.com. For this episode, Strong Honor, all the back episodes, you can find all of that stuff there. That's it for me. Taka, where can people find you?
Ooh, you can follow me at 6guys3ladders.com. Follow me on Twitter at HGREV Taco.
And you can follow me, Joe, at JoeBPWP. That's at Joe, Best Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Make sure you go to SLTDWrestling.com for that fantasy league. There's a predictions league. We got Money in the Bank around the corner and Dominion. I don't think they do Dominion. They just do WWE stuff. Yep. But lots of great fan articles as well. There's an Impact Wrestling podcast over there as well. So if you just want to follow what's going on there,
check good shit going on.
Check that out as well. SLTDWrestling.com. Rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast. Spread the word. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Peace.
I like the turd burgers. Yeah, Tommy Stryker.
The B stands for best. Fuck Michael Elgin.
What kind of stupid name is that?
So I'm going to try that and see if I can throw things up, and then I'll be able to watch them better. And on the weekends.
You said throw things up.
You want to talk into the side of that microphone.
Into the side of the microphone.
Shut up!
I think I sound a little
hot.
Shut
up, you guys.
I think I'm a little hot.
Welcome to the Best Pro Wrestling Podcast. What does that mean? Shut up! What I said was, stop talking. Skullduggery.
This is the Best Pro Wrestling Podcast. My name is Tommy Stryker. Joe is here.
Yup.
Taco is here.
What up?
And we are here to talk about the best pro wrestling in the world. Lots to talk about.